we need to talk about Cymanti. Through all my years of playing Polytopia, I've never seen this community so resoundingly agree on one thing. This tribe is just not fun to play against. In this video, I'll be explaining why that is, as well as my ideas to potentially fix the tribe. The first aspect we need to look at is Cymanti's resources, as it is what enables everything else that I'm going to talk about. Specifically, I want to talk about Cymanti's fungi. This stuff is pretty nuts for a couple of reasons. First, it's 3 population for only 5 stars. Sure, it takes 2 turns for you to get the full 3 population from it, but that's not exactly a drastic downside. Second, and I think a lot of players don't consider this point enough, fungi is incredibly population dense. Having 3 populations spread over 1 tile is equivalent to a monument. The only thing that comes close to this level of population density is a level 3 forge. And don't worry, Cymanti has access to those too. What this means is that Cymanti naturally has much more population per city, which means it's very easy for them to get high level cities quickly. This leads me to my next point. What exactly do I mean by this? Well, my friend Ramdingler has a video that demonstrates my point pretty well.
Let's get another rider and pass. Oh, they already got a centipede, what? They already got the cucaracha. No freaking way, this is turn 5. This is freaking, they got the centipede on turn 4. What the frick is this?
Cymanti typically gets their first centipede by turns 5 through 7. This is enabled by the aforementioned fungi, as well as Cymanti's decent resource rates in other categories. Boosting the centipede with a shaman allows it to move 3 tiles immediately, meaning you don't really have a ton of time to defend against it. It's kind of like a hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby scenario. While you're scrambling to defend, the Cymanti player is capturing more villages and getting more centipedes, resulting in an almost certain loss. Some may argue that other tribes can get early giants. What's the big deal? Well, giants are slow and lumbering, moving 1 tile per turn without roads. The speed differential between a giant and a boosted centipede is where the problem lies. A good opponent will see the early giant and formulate a way to defend against it, with something like archery, mathematics, or their own giant. Cymanti doesn't offer this luxury. A centipede can usually threaten a siege a turn or 2 after it's trained. Furthermore, thanks to fungi, the number of games where Cymanti can get an easy centipede is much higher than the number of games where a normal tribe can get an easy giant. Now, I already know that the good Polytopia players are about to fly down to my comment section and say, actually, goalie, Cymanti's pretty balanced and fair. All you need to do is spam riders and bait in Cymanti centipedes and kill them with rider roads. And, well, this sort of leads me to my next point. Every single game against Cymanti on small drylands feels exactly the same. I'm going to play Omaji, give rider roads, and deny you villages while defending against the turn 5 centipede or whatever. Then when my economy is sufficient, I'm going to start attacking you, and win thanks to my units having more movement and me training more units per turn than you. There's not really room to employ different strategies like there are in games with normal tribes, unless the Cymanti player sucks. Let's take an Imperius mirror match for example. Yes, we've all seen rider openings with Imperius, but I've personally also seen philosophy openings, smithery openings, and hunting forestry openings. The crazy thing is that all these openings are actually playable in Imperius mirror matches. Sure, maybe riding is more traditional and generally considered better, but the fact that the other openings are viable with their own strengths and weaknesses is kinda interesting. The uniqueness of each game is what makes the matchup fun and engaging, but I feel this is lost with games against Cymanti. Cymanti is incredible at punishing slow starts, and I can't even complain about that, it's by design. But when I feel like my only option is to go rider roads and aggressively deny space, the games feel repetitive, tedious, dull. I'm left sitting there staring at the victory screen with an empty pit in my stomach that yearns for more variety, only to turn around and do it again because everyone on small drylands is playing Cymanti. I need to put on my gamer hat here for a second, because there's a nearly identical comparison between what the Polytopia community thinks about Cymanti and what the Overwatch community thinks about a certain hero that can both turn invisible and lock out other players' abilities. Overwatch's developers are well aware of what the community thinks of Sombra. In fact, Sombra has received plenty of adjustments and reworks from her initial release. The fact that Midjuan's team has done nothing to try and shift Cymanti's power level is shocking. Technically, yes, they've been nerfed before. After all, hexapods used to cost 2 stars. But with this level of outcry from the community, surely you should maybe take a closer look at their state in the game. Now, there's going to be some players arguing that, well, both players are capable of playing Cymanti. If someone really thinks the tribe is so oppressive, they can just play the tribe too. Well, I have 2 things to say about that. 1, not everyone wants to play Cymanti until the end of time. 2, not everyone can just play Cymanti, because not everyone owns Cymanti. After all, it is a special tribe, so they're a little more expensive than normal tribes. Let me be very clear. I am by no means a game developer. I do not know how to fix Cymanti. but I think I can at least point out some aspects that people think are unfair and offer some solutions without rendering the tribe unplayable. I think the crux of the issue lies with Cymanti's resources. Like I said earlier, it's what enables all the other parts of the tribe. I think that the Midgeywon team could get away with toning down some of Cymanti's resource rates. For example, does Cymanti really need an 80% chance for each mountain in their territory to have metal? They already have fungi. What if that number was more like 70% or 65%? And speaking of fungi, I think it'd be interesting to see a version of fungi where it does not give any population the turn you build it. Then it gives one population per turn until it's level 3 like usual. This would slow down Cymanti's economy, to maybe make it feel a bit more fair to play into. I do worry that this might be overdoing things though. Like I said, I don't want the tribe to be unplayable, just a little more balanced. Another idea could be having fungi's third population be delayed by a turn. But this solution feels a little clunky, and I'm not sure if a turn's difference on the third population would actually do anything to slow down the tribe. Polytopia YouTuber Justini Linguini also had the idea of changing the number of stars that each tribe starts with. Whether it be lowering the stars that Cymanti starts with, or raising the stars that other tribes start with, I think this is an interesting idea that could potentially be implemented.
What if Hoodrick, for example, started with 7 stars, and maybe Barter started with 4? So, like, Barter can still, like, level up on turn 0, but now Hoodrick can consider leveling up on turn 1, and then maybe that actually makes him, like, decent.
Now, I know some of you are waiting for me to talk about hexapods, and well, I just don't really think they're that overpowered right now. Again, they can be countered fairly easily with riders and roads. Do you think Cymanti is overpowered? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe for more Polytopia content. If you're looking for another video to watch, I do have a guide on how to counter Cymanti without using tribes strictly like Omaji. Give it a watch if Cymanti has been giving you trouble recently. As a reminder, I stream every Saturday at 12 p.m. Central here on YouTube, so be sure to stop by. You might even make it into a video. And I'll see you all in the next video. Have a spectacular day.